All right, week 8 college football breakdown here. Nice little Big Ten battle at night in Happy Valley. We got Minnesota traveling to Penn State. As of now, Penn State is a 4.5-point home favorite in this spot and a very low total here at 45. Right off the bat, I can't really give you a complete breakdown of this game because Minnesota starting quarterback Tanner Morgan is questionable. He left last week's game against Illinois, and he was playing very poorly in that game. So let's not, get it twisted. But, he's obviously a very important piece to this Minnesota offense. He's a fifth-year starter. He and offensive coordinator Kirk Soraka really worked well together over multiple seasons of working together. So he's a really important piece to what Minnesota is going to need to do offensively to win this game. Their backup, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, Kalia Kamanis. I just made a fool of myself. I'm going to watch this game and we'll hear how the broadcaster say his name. He threw 2 picks in relief last week against Illinois, just doesn't have any experience throughout his career. I wouldn't feel confident as to how he would step up on the road in front of 100,000 plus people at night against this Penn State defense. Obviously, though, Minnesota is a balanced attack. They still got Muhammad Ibrahim. They got a lot of depth at that running back position. So Tanner Morgan weren't able to go in this game. You can still rest assured that you got Mo Ibrahim. You've got a good offensive line. You still probably can run the ball in this game. Penn State, we saw what happened last week, stepping up against Michigan, who's obviously a very good running attack with Blake Corum. Very balanced offense themselves. But, Mo Ibrahim is not that far off from what Blake Corum is as a running back. A little bit different styles, but Mo Ibrahim is plenty capable of having a really good game against this Penn State defense. I do like Penn State's secondary and what they've got in cover corner Joey Porter Jr., but, maybe Manny Diaz wasn't the best hire for James Franklin, and we'll kind of leave it at that. But it seems like wherever Manny Diaz goes, chaos ensues. So maybe we can talk about that at a later date. As for this Penn State offense, it just kind of is what it is at this point. With Sean Clifford in there, he's a remarkably mediocre player. There's a reason why he's been at Penn State for so long, and it's because he's not a Sunday player. Guys like this who just can't let go of the college experience, it's because they don't have any other option. He's a remarkably average player. When you're stepping up in competition, like you were against Michigan last week, he's not a good enough player to win those kind of games. He's shown that, quite frankly, throughout his college career. But he's not Penn State's only problem offensively. They haven't been able to consistently establish a run game this season. And that was a big question mark for them coming into the year. It looked like Nick Singleton was going to be that guy, a freshman back that, has got a lot of explosiveness, but, 6 carries, 19 yards last week. Didn't really break out against Northwestern. Really, aside from Auburn, they haven't done much in the run game against Power 5 opponents. So going up against this Minnesota defense, another really tough matchup. I'm not confident in what we're going to see from Penn State offensively. Maybe the best move for them is to at some point move to Drew Aller, their backup quarterback. He's clearly the more high upside player. And, Penn State's at a point where if they don't start making adjustments, their defense either needs to, play to a top 10 level in college football, or they're never going to be what they want to be with Sean Clifford as their quarterback. They're not winning 9 games if something doesn't change. Obviously, I'm not playing this game until we know Tanner Morgan's status. He's too important to what Minnesota does offensively. To be honest with you, I'm probably not going to have a play on this game because if he does play, the line's going to get steamed down and probably going to take all the value off of Minnesota. And if he doesn't play, then I think that could be enough to propel Penn State to a comfortable win. So it's a really tough game to handicap. And unfortunately, just given the timeline of this injury news, probably not going to be a game that I'm going to have a play in. But let me tell you this, if Morgan plays, I think Minnesota's going to have every chance, even on the road, of beating this Penn State team, because Penn State with Sean Clifford is very beatable. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I know you see this shirt right here. If you're in need of unique but comfortable golf apparel, head over to proud90.com. They got polos with the colder weather coming, hoodies and quarter zips. Recently added a ladies line. Proud 90's got all your golf apparel needs. Browse their selection, and if you see anything you like at checkout, use code Fordham. It's going to get you 15% off your entire order. That's code Fordham is going to get you 15% off your order at proud90.com. Support me, support Proud 90, proud90.com.